We are live. Are the Pelicans the most difficult team to project in the 23-24 season? Schedule come out tomorrow, so it's going to be a lot of predictions on that side regardless. Let's talk about something else. Birdman.
You must know that first. Can't nothing and nobody fade what we trying to do and what we about to do. Second thing is, we got this game on our level. You understand what I'm saying?
Welcome to another episode of In Space. I'm your host, Chris Connor. I got damn near the whole crew here. We're gonna see who else pull up. But to me, this was a special. I wanted it to be a special episode. I didn't want to do it alone. I want to talk basketball with people I enjoy talking basketball with, and that includes the people that come up in these comments. But last minute too. Shout out Justin, 5, Chaz. How y'all doing, man? I appreciate y'all pulling up.
Good, man. This is gonna be fun.
Doing good, bro.
Show, man. Love, man. So, got to give love out to our people. DraftKings Sportsbook, Jägermeister, Birdsall Law Firm. So the thought behind this episode, for me at least, was I was thinking the other day, I was like, how many other teams, even before the schedule come out, and for y'all that don't know, the schedule come out tomorrow, 3:30 Central Time. And I was thinking, I'm like, how many more difficult teams are there in the NBA to project than the Pelicans? I ain't gonna lie, y'all struggling. I was looking down the list, because you have your teams that, at worst, you were like, all right, even if they don't make the finals, you feel like they're shooing to win a series. You know what I mean? This team is shooing to be a top seed. This team is shooing to make the playoffs, and maybe these teams are shooing to not be any good at all. I don't know where the hell the Pelicans are going to finish. I don't think anyone knows. But that's why I wanted to talk about it. So for us to establish that, we gotta establish what their ceiling is and what their floor is. And I think, unpredictability is a lot about stability. So some of the teams that we're talking about will be stable, either in being really good or stable and really bad, or somewhere in the middle. Let's talk about the floor. Chaz, I'm gonna start with you.
Oh man,
what's the floor for the Pelicans? What's the floor for the Pelicans?
Oh man, I think what you saw, I think it's somewhere between what you saw last year and the year prior, between 36 and maybe 40 wins. I think that's the floor, just because I personally don't think it's that difficult to project, just because I still feels like everything revolves around Zion's health. I think if Zion isn't healthy, I think the only real reinforcement you can look at and say, well, this guy can kind of change the tide of things, is if you see Trey have a significant ascension and Dyson take another step towards what we hope he can be. I think that might get you a couple victories more. But considering, how packed this team stood, I still think they put a lot of eggs in the proverbial Zion basket.
So my thinking is they can finish either as high, getting into the second round, possibly Western Conference Finals, or they can miss the playoffs completely. And I don't know. And that's funny, but I'm serious. I mean, I'm serious. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Maybe there are a handful of teams, or more than a handful of teams, that fit this category. But and 5, I'm gonna go to you. Chaz mentioned the floor. What do you think the floor is?
Can I just say this? Speaking of my T-shirt, baseball is life. One baseball player in particular, Vladimir Guerrero, his strike zone was abnormally low and stupidly high. That is the Pelicans. But he's a really good hitter. He can swing at anything. Anything can happen for the Pelicans. That's good and bad. So we don't know what this team's going to do. I don't know what their floor is. Well, I do. It's the bottom. That's the floor. But like Michael Jordan said, the ceiling is the roof. They could end up in the Western Conference Finals. like Chad said, just having Zion. That's kind of what this team is. We don't know what we're going to get. New Orleans was like this. Me and Justin kind of had this conversation before. New Orleans was built on gambling, and this is Riverboat. We don't know what we're going to get. We don't know what hand we're going to get dealt. We just got to play. And whatever we see is what we get.
Justin, one of the things I think about before we go into the ceiling is, like, for example, the Nuggets won a championship last year, right?
Yeah.
We had shows talking about before the play-in started about who we thought the Pelicans matched up with. A lot of people thought it was, for example, the Nuggets. And in fact, they had a lot of competitive games with the Nuggets healthy. They won a game. When they weren't healthy, couple games in Denver to where Pelicans took a couple leads. Game comes down to the end. I think that the final game in Denver was, of the second half, Nuggets just took off. But the games were more competitive than I think. You add Zion, who knows, right? When impacting the floor, how do you value, I guess, how you think the Pelicans play against the upper competition in the league? Or can you even do that with the way the health stands?
Well, that's just the most, like, it's just to the point, right, where we all, like Chaz says it all the time. Like, if Zion's healthy, the team's really good. If he's not, they're ninth seed. That it is what it is. I think the floor, personally, I don't see the team missing the playoffs. I mean, if Brandon and Zion miss extended periods of time, yes, I think they might miss the playoffs. But I don't see that happening, hopefully happening again this year.
But I'm saying,
extension meaning like out for the year. Like, Brandon wasn't going to be out for the year with the stuff out. Jackson didn't want to get in there with that. But I'm just saying, I don't think that. Here's my thing: if Brandon and Zion play 60+ games, they're going to be top 5 in my opinion. I know that's your next question. Now, the problem is they don't do that, so you can't answer the question. I don't know what the floor is, like, because we haven't seen it. We've seen it for 12 games. And it's really dependent, and it's kind of sad. It's dependent on one player, Zion Williamson. Is he going to show up? Is he going to be healthy? If he's not going to be healthy, he's going to keep doing the same things. We're not going to be good. If he does, he takes it seriously, takes care of his body, off-season training, which we don't really know about. I think we can be good.
Oh, so we would all agree, though, as we lead into the ceiling question, that for them to reach their ceiling, Brandon and Zion have to play over, I mean, let's say 55 games. Is there a certain game amount that we're talking 55. Here?
I think it's maybe 50. I think both of them have to play 50 games together. I'm serious. 50 games.
You think with 50 games?
That's the bar. That's how low the bar is. 50 games, they'll be a top 16.
Okay. A 5.
That's what I'm saying. Look how low the bar is. Like, we're talking about them just playing games, playing together at the same. Are we even saying playing together at the same time? We don't know. We just saying hopefully they mix in 20 to 30 games together, and then we'd be able to better analyze and how they play, and maybe they can make the playoffs. Hopefully, but I don't know.
I mean, if they got 50 games together is what I meant. They get 50 games together.
50
games together. Guys, all of y'all's reactions is insane to think about, considering I literally said 50 games together. How many did Jokic and Murray play this year together? I'm sure they got over, 60 games together, probably?
No, he was hurt for a good bit, so I don't know if they got
over. Jokic at the end was, right?
No.
Murray.
Jamal was hurt at the beginning, so he was coming off the injury.
He was coming off the ACL, right?
But again, they already had time together. They already played. Right. Like, we're talking about guys that have played on the same team for the last 4 years, and they haven't played 82 games at the same. Like, I think we're missing the point of, like, this team has not seen its best 2 players on the court at the same time for an extended period of time, like consecutively, not like sporadically. No, consecutively. That we can't judge it. That's why the floor is. They might not make it because we've seen it already. We know what the floor. We've seen it already.
Yeah, Chaz, go ahead.
You see, so we just, we are in the year of hip hop's 50th anniversary, and Mass Appeal just had this incredible performance. And to close the show, Nas brought out the incredible Lauryn Hill. Right, one of my favorite Lauryn Hill songs is "Nothing Even Matters." Right, because we can talk about both of them playing, but only one guy matters. Like it is what it is. And far as the floor and how you evaluate this team's floor, we've seen this. This is the same exact team, plus CJ, give or take, from the last 2 years. Without Zion, this is a lottery team. So I don't need to see them both on the floor. In fact, if you can tell me Zion plays 60 games, I got this top 16 with the potential to be a second round team. But until then, again, you're still a Jonas Valanciunas injury from not having a playable center aside from George Washington. You
such a crazy
again. We don't really know. Like, I'm like, when you really look at this team, it's like it's so thin. Like Jose's injury, that could be it's lingering now. It could be a lingering injury going into the season. Don't know what's going on with Kyra. Brandon with his injuries at times. Yeah. CJ's getting a little older. Dyson, he's about to get cut from his own country's team. Like how you come on, man. Like, you at home. So the margin for error with this team is so thin. And with Denver, the only thing, because Michael Porter Jr. was out for a long time too. Well, he had a backiotomy. So he was out for a while. And the only difference between the Nuggets and the Pelicans is Mike Malone's a hell of a coach, and Jokic is probably the best player in the NBA, arguably. And the Pelicans put a new coach into the system, still trying to develop some guys at the same time. Hawkins is supposed to be our 3-point savior, and you still just don't know what you're going to get from Zion. And
that's the most frustrating part. But I want to ask this, Chris. I want to ask this, because if Brandon didn't miss, how many games did Brandon miss last year? 40 plus?
I know it was like 29 in a row. But
I think he played 49, right?
He had the concussion for 5.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Say you just cut those in half and he misses 20-something games. Do you think they're a top 16? Because they were only out of the 6 seed by what, 2-3 games?
I don't think they're in the play-in.
But see,
I don't know.
So you think they're top 6?
Yeah, I don't think that they're in the play-in. Yeah, because they missed. I think it came down to a game. It was one game, and they lost a tiebreaker with a couple teams.
Yeah, about a game or two.
Right.
You would assume that if Brandon misses, let's say, half of that, they find a way to win 1 or 2 games. Maybe the 10-game losing streak's a 5-game losing streak. I mean,
I forgot about that. People were like, "Oh, go ahead, Chaz."
But it's because the thing is, like, all right, let's say he missed 29, right? It takes him about another 5-6 to kind of get back into the flow of things.
You saw that in the 10-game losing streak.
Then you got Bite Gate, where he goes out with the ankle. And next time you see him, he's biting Jose on the shoulder, misses the following 2 games that we need. Then he comes back, plays well. Then we had a series of games against Golden State and Sac, where, he misses a box out here, turns the ball over here at a crucial time, and we still got that, he's just getting his legs back under him type thing. And it's like, at a certain point, like, these guys got to start off hot. Like, they got to start off with some momentum, and these knick-knack injuries, these mistakes, Zion, you're going into your 5th year, bro. Brandon, you're going into year 7 or 8. It's like, come on, man. Like, y'all dudes got to deliver. The time for potential is over. Potential is for the young guys. Like, y'all vets. So this is over. Like,
So the point of this, the point of this show is basically to rank in a way where we think the Pelicans rank in regards to unpredictability in the rest of the league. So with that, I think that there's a few teams that we can agree to take out, and you guys can add, this is just off the top of the head with lists I have that we're not even going to ask, right? I'm going to leave out Milwaukee. I'm going to leave out Boston. Cleveland, the Nuggets, Memphis, because they always find a way to win regular season games.
Good coaching.
Phoenix, Golden State, and the Lakers. Those are 8 teams that, personally speaking, I feel like one way or another they're gonna be. They're a little bit easier going into next year, easier to project. Like their fall off, even when guys go down, isn't as far as say as it is for the Pelicans. Is anybody you guys would add, or is there someone? I mean, I named about 8 teams there. Is there anyone that you think maybe we should discuss?
Did you say Miami?
I did not say Miami.
I would say Miami.
You would say Miami? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about them. They're just always there.
They are.
What about, I mean, I guess the Clipper. I feel like the Clippers are always there, but I mean,
yeah.
But once again, they're like the same. You know what? That's a great comparison. They are literally us, I think. Yes.
Better coaching.
Hold on. I'm not saying that. I'm not comparing. I'm saying that if their 2 stars don't play, they're not good.
I just want to push back a little bit, just a little bit.
Of course.
The names, the teams that Chris named, all of them have one similar thing together. They have really good coaching, or decent coaching, right? Or decent, right? Yeah. Outside of Bud with the Bucks, like really good coaching or a coaching staff. Bud comes from a coaching tree. Cool, got it. Now, and they've kind of been together for a decent amount of time, per se. You can even say the Lakers, but I think they got LeBron adjacent. I think that's a coach in itself. The Clippers thing, right? Like Ty Lue can win you games without Paul George and Kawhi, and he's showing you that he's done it over and over. Now, can this coaching staff do the same thing? Because that's kind of how I grade coaching. The really good coaches don't allow you to go on 10-game losing streaks. They don't. It's no shade at anybody, but that doesn't happen. I don't care who's on the floor. You have to figure out how to win a game, because there were some winnable games, right, without Zion, without Brandon, that you could have won to stop the bleeding a little bit, and you didn't. Or you couldn't just get your guys up for just to get one, maybe to stop that bleeding.
Chaz. I was going to say, I want to talk back a little bit just for a second, back to Jarrett, because I don't know, Chaz, if you want to jump in there. But
you gotta go.
The Pelicans did update their coaching staff this year, so I'm not saying that's close to the Clippers, but I think Borrego and Miles coming in is like Griffin saying, okay, we have to update our staff. So I'm interested to see how that goes, but I completely agree with everything you just said.
I think I'm sorry, go ahead, Chris.
Well, I was about to ask Chaz, and then you can add your thoughts. A lot of this may have to do, I mean, coaching is one element, but what do you think of the rest of the Clippers roster when accounting for what we think the Pelicans are going to also match when missing their top 2 guys missing games, right? You can almost count Kawhi and Paul are going to miss anywhere between 25 or 30 games. That's been the constant. So pretty much what we're asking, what do we think about the rest? Right. Russ, let's say CJ and Russ equal out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the rest of that Clippers roster? Now I want you to retort in comparison to the Pelicans.
I think one advantage that they may have is some continuity. I'm a fan of Norman Powell when he's healthy. I think Zubac is a very solid big man, and the advantage Zubac has over JV, even though I think JV is a superior player, is they know how to use Zubac, and there's not any blatant biases against Zubac and using him effectively. I think big fan of Terrence Mann. Really like Terrence Mann. I think Covington is a little overrated at this stage in his career. I think he had like that 1 or 2 years where he was like really good, and now he kind of just like he's trade salary now for the most part. Pause. But that roster, I think it benefits so much strongly from continuity, because we've seen issues when the Pelicans are healthy, right? Whereas the top 2 guys, we gotta find a way to skip the figuring it out process or speed through the figuring it out process. When Paul George and Kawhi get on the floor, they know there's no confusion as to who's who and what's about to happen here. Whereas with those two, they haven't quite figured it out yet. You add CJ into the equation. You add installing a new offense into the equation. We still don't know exactly what role Casey Hill is going to play just yet. So there's just a lot of please. That's why you got a new offensive coach. You know what I'm saying? So
well, Chaz, I think we do know a little bit about the Casey Hill thing. Casey Hill has been moved to the back of the bench, so he won't be sitting in the front of the bench. James Borrego will be. He's taking over the entire offense. Borrego is. Casey Hill is basically consultant.
I mean, oh my bad, Chris.
Go ahead.
The Clippers' ability to adapt is the one thing that I kind of want the Pelicans to kind of take, right? Is, the 10-game losing streak. I always go back to this because that was like a prime opportunity to allow Trey Murphy to grow, right? That was like a prime opportunity to allow Dyson to grow or Kyra to grow. I mean, I don't know if he was back from the injury at that time, but just say like those time periods where things were. It's like once the brick of Zion fell, like everything else fell with it. Like your foundation has to be a little bit more solid, right? It can't be the players themselves. It has to be like you as a staff, like what you want to do and how you want to play. And that's the consistency, right? That's how you gain that said consistency. And then when those players come back, it's like, okay, now we can win games on a more frequent basis. But the way we play is how we want to go about said winning, if that makes sense.
Can I ask you this, Five? And all you guys can answer. Do you think the staff, even with the additions that they've made, have a strong enough voice to integrate said changes? Because we know sometimes people just do what they want, right? It's a couple of guys he coming downhill, pause. He not passing. Like it's this either gonna be a charge or a blocking foul or something, but the shot's going up. Do you think this coaching staff at this point has the cachet to even implement those things to say, yo, you need to, come off the ball a little bit and go chill right there. Or you need to be on the ball a little bit, initiate more, or he's hot, he's hot. Feed him, let him do his thing, get out of his way. Do you think
so crazy?
It's wild right now.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Fab.
I would just say, I don't know, to be honest, because there were moments where you could feel like things were supposed to happen a certain way throughout the course of a game, and they didn't happen that way, and nobody was reprimanded for it, right? Nothing happened. But a guy like Trey Murphy can do something, but yet he's reprimanded for it. And that's the thing that I kind of all right, well, what's the consistency with the staff? What are y'all doing when things go awry? And you really don't know. So I'll say no, Chaz, but I hope it changes.
Some of this, of course, time will tell, but I think what I'm curious about if we're talking about changes, and the main changes that we I guess we have to be talking about is the offense, right? We're looking at Borrego,
right? And
my question would be, what kind of relationship builder is he? How has he spent his summer integrating? And I mean, Justin may be able to answer a little bit more of this than me, but how has he spent the summer diving into a new setup and a system with, the most talent that he's had in this kind of a role? That would be my question. What kind of relationship has he built with BI, with CJ, with Zion, if any, to where you guys are already having these early conversations, expectations are set individually and as a team, so where you're not playing catch up, because like Five said, so often, even without injuries, the team sometimes runs in mud. And that's what happens when you're not structured, when you're not organized, when you procrastinate. It's really about what kind of relationships I think Borrego's building with these guys. And then maybe from there, some of the stuff would be, I guess, a little bit easier to kind of project if we're talking about if guys are going. I don't want to say fall in line. I don't want to say like that way of saying it, but Jill, and listen.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, I'll go here. So you actually Borrego's already met with Trey. They've had those conversations. I do know that he's been holding coaches meetings over the last 2 weeks, and they've been talking about. I think there's somewhere in the comments saying like our plays suck, whatever it was. That's going to be out now. It's going to be more of just get it and go kind of thing because they're going to play with flow. And I think you saw a lot of times last year they'd struggle in the half court setting. They call this triangle where Brandon would come off of an Iverson screen, CJ would pop and then throw it into Jonas, and they go in like a little triangle, and then you'd have two guys in the corner that wouldn't move. That's gone. This year it's going to be more of a flow. And as y'all know, Borrego loves off-ball movement, off-ball screening, things of that nature, and he uses his bigs at the top of the key. Whether we'll pass and follow, you'll see a lot of the Draymond kills and go to the rim as Jonas Valanciunas did last week. Things like that is what you're going to start seeing. Now it depends on having those meetings and the continuity of it, right? Because a new system's coming in, and that takes time, like to build that chemistry. So I'm interested to see how fast they pick it up. That's probably my biggest concern.
All right. So I guess we can. We'll, for the sake of argument, we'll leave the Clippers out. But for the most part, I think we named a good majority of the teams that you have an idea where they're going to be when it comes to standing at the end of the year, barring complete tragedy to their team, like both of their guys go out for the year, something crazy like that, right? Let's talk about the teams that maybe could fit in this discussion, and let's compare them in regards to the Pelicans when we're talking about difficulty in projecting. Timberwolves. Are the Timberwolves a more difficult team to project coming into this season than the Pelicans?
I would say so. The reason I would say so is because you still have a big question we'll call Anthony Towns. Incredible talent, especially, scouting Jordan Woods, picking her up.
Elite scout.
That was work. Elite, right? But it's one of those things, man, to where it's like they look better without him, and they brought back Naz Reid. They got a bit of a some teams, go in different directions. Some teams get a bit of that playoff experience and they want to build upon that. We talk about like feed, but I'm not personally pushing my stock into that. But I think for a person like Anthony Edwards, you'll see him on a stage like that. And you say, this guy has the potential to be the best player in the league. Rudy Gay's more bought in. You see him and Ant have more of a relationship versus Cat. Like you don't really see Cat kind of in those circles and things like that. So I'm not sure what their rapport is. But if Cat is bought in and they manage to put together a system that suits both of them and provides a little bit of space, I think they could be a dangerous team. They still got what's that, McDaniels? Still got McDaniels. Yeah, still got him.
They got a veteran point guard, Mike Conley, who's a hell of a basketball player.
And I think Ant has best player in the league talent. Personally.
And Chaz, and you want to talk about knowing your role, like Mike Conley knows his role on that team.
Yeah.
Like he knows, like, hey,
he's a professional.
The guy, Gobert, things, or Cat, things like that. That's what's a definite difference in between the Timberwolves and Pelicans.
So Chaz, your question was yes, mainly based off of Cat, correct?
Yeah. The Cat's bought in. I think they're dangerous.
Okay. 5.
I would say so. I just don't like. I don't think the roster construction really just Cat and Gobert. That's the real issue for me. Like one gotta go, to be honest. It doesn't make sense. Like Cat wants to be a 3-point shooter, but to be honest, like his greatest feat is playing at the rim, and being able to pick and pop. I'd rather see Cat shoot 4 threes or less per game than anything over that. Just you're kind of taking points out of your own hand, and being in a pick and roll situation with Ant would be great for that team, but it doesn't seem like he wants to do that or be that. So I think they have a lot of questions to answer, really, because those contracts are really large. Gave up a ton to get Gobert. I don't know how you really move either one right now with everything as it is. So I think they have bigger problems than we can ever foresee.
Justin?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with both of them. It's Cat and Gobert and even Naz Reid. Like it's a lot of money tied up between those three. How much did Naz Reid get?
Not much.
I think got a ton, but to be honest, Ant can't even get to the rim. Ant can't even get to the rim because Gobert's there. So I don't even know how you play these two. I guess
Do you think Ant? What's the better match for Ant? Ant and Gobert or Ant and Cat?
It's Cat, but Cat play like a cat. So I mean, I want the other word for cat. Like, so that's why he like, all right, I'll just deal with Gobert. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree with both of them. Yeah.
All right, so we and I also think that they're a little bit more difficult just because of fit. Yeah, I mean, even when healthy, they had a lot of question marks last year, and I just don't know if Cat and Gobert, with as talented as Ant is in some of the other parts, I think McDaniels is spectacular. But I think McDaniels was allowed to be a little bit more of himself and kind of grow offensively last year when Cat was out. Fitting Cat back in with Gobert, lack of spacing, it's a little tough for me.
And the Kill played really well with them at the end of the year too. I just want to bring that up.
He did. He did. Wrong kid. Here's a fun one. The Thunder.
Ooh.
Are the Thunder a more difficult team to project than the Pelicans for next season?
No, because they don't have any expectations yet. I think the Pelicans have expectations. Like the Thunder still have what? They got Chet. They got SGA, who's 4 or 5 years in the league. So like they're very young, is what I'm saying. Like Dort, who's the rookie last year? I'm blanking on him. Jalen. Sorry,
Jalen Williams. You got Josh Giddey.
And Giddey, and he's a third-year guy. Giddey's 21 years old?
So
they got to be the youngest roster in the league, huh?
Yeah, he's probably going to start on the Australia team.
Yeah. So, wait, Justin, so do you believe – so was the 40 games that they won last year real or fake?
That's pretty freaking impressive, man.
I'd say fake. Again, there were a lot of.
You think it was fake?
Yeah, I just think it was a lot of wins to go around, right? Because it wasn't like a 60-win team. So I just still win. Yeah, let's put them in OKC, but not like that's the thing.
Do you think they win 40 or more? Do you think they?
Hell no, man. I think their window, like again, Vlad. Back to the Vlad comparison, like their window, their strike zone is so much smaller, so much lower. Like if they exceed that strike zone, it's oh my god. But like Justin said, like their expectations are so low. Like this is Chet's rookie year, so. I mean, how do you see it? I like them a lot. Man. I like them a lot.
I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. I really like the Thunder, but I agree with. I don't know, man. I think Chet's gonna be a lot better than people think out the gate. I don't think Jalen Williams. Well, the better Jalen Williams is. I think what you saw last year, you might see something similar. I don't think that there's another leap this year necessarily. Giddey's interesting. I don't know, dog. SGA just the key to me, bro. He controls and orchestrates so well that sometimes it don't matter who out there. You put enough talent, that team could sneak around and beat somebody in a series. I mean, Chaz.
You go ahead, Five. I love you.
My bad. I think they do a really good job of developing talent. So I can see how you can say that. I think Chet's going to be really good. I just got to see it. J-Dub put on a lot of muscle over the summer. I saw some videos, pause. I don't know if that is, but like you can tell like this team is progressing in the right direction. I just don't know how far they get down this road.
I got you.
I think much like with the Timberwolves, I think even with them having some experience with the play-in, winning a play-in game against some bum-ass team, and that was the Pelicans, huh? But I think, man, when you look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and you look at his trajectory over the last few years, I feel like every year that dude was playing well, and they always just shut him down with an injury. So I would have to think this dude has another gear. Like if he takes another step, and in my opinion, he plays the most important position for regular season basketball at guard. People really love playing with him. You even got a wild card like Luke Dort who can like just go crazy, every once in a while, especially against the Pelicans. And you just got the dude that beat out Dyson Daniels for a roster spot and Josh Giddey. So and you add Chet to that, man. I think none of those dudes have some experience winning and not trying to lose. I think it's going to be hard to like pull back from that I think they're gonna give it everything they got. I really think they could be a solid 8 through 10 team. So I'm gonna say 7 through 10.
Is there ceiling? I guess to end this, Chaz, to answer it is their ceiling. If all goes well, is their ceiling higher than the Pelicans? Let's say both sides.
Everything goes well for both teams.
Both teams. Whose ceiling's higher?
In the regular season, I'm gonna say OKC, just because I think they have the best player at the most important regular season position, in my opinion. And every year, I've seen them play well until they decided to pull the plug. Versus the Pelicans, it's always some weird, fluky shit. Like, it's always something weird, bro. Like last season, we played Denver, Jokic is out. Then we played Memphis. We down by like 20. What's the fat light-skinned dude?
Kenny Lofton.
Yeah,
Kenny Lofton.
We down by like 20 to Kenny Lofton. It's just like
It's
so
Kenneth,
much,
right? Sorry, I think it's Kenny or Kenneth Lofton.
Yeah, some dude like Raggedy Ann. We down about 20 to him. It's Big Red, and it's just like it's just so. And we got to battle back and go into OT because Jackson Hayes fouled somebody or somebody fouled somebody on the inbound. It's always something stupid. So in the regular season, I'm gonna say OKC. In the playoffs, I'll say the Pelicans have the highest ceiling.
Okay. I'm gonna move this. I mean, this is fun. Dallas.
Ooh, boy.
Oh,
That's nice. That's a nice team. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
I mean, it's a lot I don't know. That sounds like the answer is yes.
I think that's a Western Conference Finals contender.
Really?
If they can solidify that depth, I think. See, the thing is, again, Luka, for as great as Luka is he's like Zion. The dude ain't even been in shape yet. And he's
he don't need to be in Chaz.
But that's the point.
Yeah.
No, but that's the point. If he ever gets in shape, he's like a top 5 player, and he just a dangerous ass dude. Like, so I don't know. And Kyrie, best finisher in the league.
Yeah. I mean, Kyrie's unbelievable. Who's their starting center?
Rashawn Holmes, right, for now, right?
I worry about
Wait, what Powell went? Powell left.
No,
did they bring Powell back?
I
thought they brought somebody in, man.
They drafted the rookie. They drafted
the rookie, like 10th, right, or something like that.
All right, so there was a guy that reached out that was like a Mavericks kind of insider, and he asked about Jackson Hayes. I kind of gave him some insight. I was like, that may be something that they'll look at because that makes perfect sense. I thought Jackson Hayes in Dallas would make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Right? Playing with elite guards.
Right?
Huh?
Isn't McGee in Dallas as well?
Yeah, and they drafted Lively.
Derek Lively from Duke. Yep.
They drafted Lively. They brought in Grant Williams to
that's who the trade was, Grant.
Yeah.
And they got Tim Hardaway potentially off the bench or movable salary.
But still, they still have what's the dude from the Knicks with the hair?
I think he's gone, bro.
Oh, dang.
But they brought in Seth Curry.
Oh, all right. So they went back to Seth Curry. But they surrounded Luka with shooting, a little bit more playmaking. Again, you have the Dallas's thing was they had like the highest offensive rating team with Luka on the floor. They had the worst offensive rating when Luka was off the floor. Hence why they brought in Kyrie. Hopefully they can kind of like, all right, at least be 15th or better. And maybe they kind of bridges said gap, but they lost a lot of defense when they let Dorian Finney-Smith go. So can they defend? Can Grant Williams kind of bring that? Can Lively kind of tie up ends on the back end? I don't know. This is a really interesting team, though.
Do y'all think Grant Williams is a winning player?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, indeed. I think he's like PJ Tucker, but younger.
That's a fair comparison. That's a fair
comparison. Corner. He's gonna shoot a ton of corner threes. He's not.
And he gives him the opportunity to go small. Like that's
he's gonna get offensive boards, get you extra possessions. He's gonna try to defend the best player. I lied the thing with him and Jimmy Butler. Like he's a winning basketball player.
Comes from a winning team, winning culture.
Yeah, he
knows
how to play.
Like the division the Pelicans are in is one of the most entertaining, I think, throughout. Like this is gonna be a crate like with Wemby, Zion, Kyrie and Luka, and then you got Houston, and then you have Ja and Memphis. Like that division is, sheesh.
So what? So five. What's your answer? Do you think that they're more difficult to project coming in than the Pelicans, or no?
No, I don't think they're more difficult. No, I
Okay.
think their ceiling and floor is a little bit higher, right, than the Pelicans at this point.
Justin?
Yeah, I agree with 5. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair. That's fair.
All right. So yeah, that wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. Now here's a fun one because I don't believe in this team. I think everything last year was fake, completely fucking fake, and I don't think they're replicated. I think that they're missing the playoffs. Sacramento Kings.
You think they're missing the playoffs?
I don't fucking believe in it.
Hey, we talking about coaching. They got one of the best coaches in the league.
I think that shit was fake. If I had $1 and I could put the light up into it, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. I think teams will make adjustments. I'm not a big Sabonis guy. I believe in Fox. I like Monk. They didn't really make. The key is if Murray takes a step, and they allow him to take a step.
Honestly, I think he could be just who he was. The reason I say that though is because compared to the Pelicans, as far as uncertainty, this is a team that knows exactly who they are, and if they've probably seen where they failed and where they can succeed, like going further. Sabonis played injured last year. I'm not a huge Sabonis fan neither, but he played injured last year, and they are just so incredible developing their young guys and now they are. Before they weren't. Yeah. But now they're incredible doing that and putting them in positions to succeed. If Murray has the same exact year, if all them dudes play exactly the same, right, I still think they just have a level of certainty just because I feel like their best player, again, plays the most important position in the NBA. As long as he's healthy, I think they got a shot.
But here's my thing, Chaz, before I go to you, 5. I think Sacramento had an opportunity to, like, here's my thinking. When you have a chance to kind of get extremely better or make a leap, right? They surprised a lot of folks by winning as many games as they did. They won, 48 games?
Yeah,
I think you continue on that. You double down on that. You don't bring back Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
Like that's just one of my thoughts. You take that contract, you trade it for a higher talent to continue building off that. And I think like they're pretty much basically what you're telling me is they're hoping that the West was as bad as it was again last year because they had a lot of things go right for them. Health, a bunch of things. I get the system, I get the coaching, I get the players in the offense, but they're pretty much bringing back the same dudes. Right. And it's you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Atlanta from a couple years ago. And that's why I don't believe in it. Remember when Atlanta made the the Eastern Conference Finals, and they pretty much brought the same team back?
Well,
and that's what it reminds me of in a way. Yeah.
I think the only difference with that though is Atlanta was bad in the regular season that year. So it kind of was like they just weren't supposed to be there at all. And by them beating the Knicks in such impressive, I think Atlanta got rated way higher than it should have been because the Knicks just shit the bed. And that was like Trae Young's like coming out party in the next couple of years. It was just terrible. But I can totally see that. Hey, we've seen that with the Mavericks a bunch of times. Mavericks have a great regular season. Dirk's Mavericks get into the playoffs and look awful. So we've seen that a couple of times.
I disagree. I think they're at least at this, right? Take everything in consideration what you said. Their floor is higher. At least that. Okay. Their floor is higher. Now, do I think they're going to make the Western Conference Finals? No. I think they do need like an elite wing player, right? At least like say Chris Middleton from 4 years ago. Something like that, right? That would make me believe in them a little bit more. But to say the fact that they just brought back the same team, no, they're consistent because what they did can be replicable, right? They can do that again and still be a really good team and find ways to win. And also, we can't like blame them for bringing back a team that got them, let's say deep into the playoffs. And the Pelicans just did the same thing and they didn't even get to the damn playoffs. So
no, 100%. But at least in that, in that discussion, you got one guy that played 29 and 49. If you're gonna have that argument, there are guys. I gotta look at the amount of games, but De'Aaron played 73 and Sabonis played 79. That's crazy.
With a broke wrist.
I wish, we had two superstars.
God
that.
Damn.
Exactly. And to the point of, I think you said something about like Keegan Murray taking another leap. Bro, he's gonna take another leap. Like you can see it happening. There's been a lot of discussion, and then Mike Brown gives him like uber confidence to do. Hey, bro, go hoop. Like I'm not stopping you. Like I want you to do more. And he said it out loud in press conferences. I think I tweeted it one time. Like this is what you would want. This is what you would hope that Willie would do for Trey. Like no, go do that. And Willie has. Like I'm not saying that he hasn't, but in that fashion, like. Young man, go be that because we need you to do that. If you don't, we don't have anybody else that can. And Keegan has done that now and some. I think you saw in the Summer League games, like, we put up 40, 41 in the Summer League. Like, not saying that Trey didn't do that, but like he dominated it from the get-go. Like, it wasn't a question about it. Like, he was the best player on the floor, and he showed you. And
he didn't even need to be there. Like the dude.
No, he didn't.
All I'm saying is this. And Justin, I'll ask you, but their 8 best players played at least 73 fucking games last season.
Man, it's amazing when people play, man. It's amazing when you're available.
I don't care. Okay, if I'm wrong, we're gonna have this discussion. I don't give a fuck what team you have. Ain't no way you can run that back. It's no way. No, they had 8 players play at least 73 games. This isn't 1994. It doesn't happen anymore, bro. It's not happening next year. I don't think
they're a top 8 team. Top 18? Wow.
No.
What?
Wow.
I don't. I'm just
when healthy,
I'm not a fan. I think I can make other arguments of teams that I believe are going to, bro. Even they had the best offense, analytically of all time last season.
Yep.
They're not topping that.
No, they're not doing that. They're not doing that.
So you can't get better offensively. You're only going down. You can't. They will not get better offensively.
So they won't get better defensively?
No, they didn't want anybody to get better.
Yes, you can. You can get better by being like via continuity, right? And then you're looking at a league, right, that doesn't really put a focus on defense anyway.
Yeah.
They just
Sacramento's just a tough regular season game. Like in the regular season, I'm not saying they would be in the playoffs, but like in the regular season, they're just a tough, tough game.
Because at any moment, anybody can go get it.
Exactly.
And he got Kevin Herter. Oh my God!
I ain't mad at that. He played 74 games.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at that.
These guys play, Chris.
I get it. Are they gonna do it again? Are they gonna do it again? I haven't seen health like that in the hospital, like anywhere. Go ahead.
You definitely ain't seen it in the New Orleans. So.
You know why I say like some of the teams we naming. Yeah. I think even if the Pelicans healthy again, it's like a brand. It's a certain brand of basketball that everyone else seems to be playing, and the Pelicans just like if you put Chris Paul's like the Crescent City Connection team against these Pelicans, you would swear that these Pelicans are the older team. And the Crescent City Connected team is like the younger, more like high flying, like exciting team because this team looks like a silent film sometimes. Everybody walking, everybody all bunched up together for Zion going into like 5-6 fucking defenders. It's just like everybody else plays a more modern brand of basketball, even in the open court. It's to the point where if someone throws an alley-oop and someone catches it and finishes it, we all impressed. Like, oh, yeah, look at that. He can read. And it's like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I think with other teams, their margin for error is just so much more. Like, as far as like, all right, they know, they're going to play this way. This is how they play. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're going to play this way. Keegan Murray, he's going to shoot. And if he has the green light, he gonna shoot like 20 times. Like he don't care. Harrison Barnes has been playing the same way his entire. He's like a impoverished man's Tim Duncan. There's no personality, no exciting game. You just know what you're gonna get. Like he shows up, he does his job, he goes home, and it's just like Eric, the Pelicans, there's so much variance. That's what I think makes it really difficult to give them the benefit of the doubt versus other teams.
I'm not mad at that. Here, you're right. Harrison shows up, played 82 games. He didn't miss a minute.
Didn't miss a game.
Yep, didn't miss a game. Maybe that's hate. Maybe that's hate in my heart. Maybe that's what it. Maybe that's jealousy.
Jealous, kid. You're jealous.
8 players. That's crazy. But shout out to the Kings, man. The Rockets.
What they get? Fred VanVleet, right?
Fred. Yeah.
You said personally, I think the Rockets have against a team no expectations, team with a lot of high upside talent, and I really think all they need is for one of them guys to really like figure it out. Like if what's the dude be wearing the purses? If he figures it out,
Is there another way to describe him?
Lil Rodman. If Lil Rodman figures it out.
I thought that was San Antonio brother.
Oh, that's the other dude.
Yeah.
So what's that dude name?
Jalen Green.
Yeah. Boy.
So
anyway.
you got Kevin Porter Jr.
Anyway,
you got Jalen Green, but you talk about Jalen.
Jalen Joystick Green. So if Jalen Joystick Green figures it out under Ime Udoka, man, I think that team has quite the man. I think they have quite a future because you still got those young guys. You got the 5. I forget his name, man. Is it Sengun? Yeah, like
you got Sengun, you got Jabari.
Sengun. Yeah, and you just
they talked about getting Embiid. They're in talks. Like they're interested.
And I think he would welcome that because Houston has a lot of I know he's Cameroonian. Houston has a lot of Africans.
Yeah,
Nigeria. Yeah, so he would like.
No, he's from Cameroon, but you're right. But like
they're like I think he would really welcome and embrace it playing under Ime Udoka. I think them dudes have a lot to offer. I think the Pelicans have a much higher floor and ceiling than them. But I think if old JJ figures it out, I think they'll be all right.
I like Sengun a lot. I think he's like baby Joker. I think he's gonna be really good. I mean, if I'm Philly at this point, just reset. Like I don't know what else you do because you're not winning nothing. With just Embiid. But Houston's really interesting. I think having Ime is a really good hire. Then he brought all his people with him.
Yeah.
Like the foundation that they'll have. I mean, you just saw like the confidence that Tari Eason, like I think he's gonna be elite defensively. Like just guys that can play basketball. The young, energetic, and then you see that like Ime is gonna use their skill set and just develop that. Like, all right, this is what you're good at. Let's use that and then develop those other skills along the way. And then having Fred, a big shot maker, shot taker, just having that confidence. Although most people don't like Dylan Brooks.
Yes, I forgot all about him. Yeah, him
too. I still think he's a good basketball player. Yeah. I just probably being in the system with Ime and Fred, I think that helps him. So, yeah, man, I like Houston. I don't know.
And they drafted Amen. Yeah, and that dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, nice
talent. So, it's a lot of talent on that team.
They don't have too much talent.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Florence said addition by subtraction. Something's going to have to happen for somebody to grow. It's probably going to be, but Porter got to go.
Yeah, probably going to be him.
Yeah.
That team's interesting, man. Another bright future in the same division between San Antonio and Houston.
Thank God divisions don't really matter in basketball.
Yeah.
Still, you got to play them. You have to play them 4 times a year. You know.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True.
That's the only thing.
I mean, y'all. Is there any disagreement in the Spurs?
Spurs ain't doing nothing.
Ain't doing nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Justin, you do like
you didn't say the Grizzlies.
I don't. The Grizzlies are gonna. I'd count them in for 45 wins, no matter if who plays.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, it really doesn't matter.
Wait, hold up. I mean, Josh suspended for what, the first 20 something games.
They brought back.
They find a way.
Right?
Yeah, they got Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart. Gosh.
They just find a way, bro. They always find a way.
It's in their DNA at this point. Like, you know.
Yeah, they always they remind me of like the Jazz from like years ago, to where like they just always they're gonna win 45 games and we know what's gonna happen in the playoffs, but they're gonna be there. All right, let's move to the Eastern Conference here. Let's go with the Raptors.
Man, I've been hearing some stuff all season about the Raptors, man. I think they overplay in their hand with Pascal. I think it's over for the Raptors. I think the Raptors. Yeah. I think it's over. I think they headed to the lottery.
Ooh,
I think it's headed to the lottery. It's over.
Yeah.
The worst thing they could be is like the Pelicans, though. Like if you in the middle, you want me in the middle. I think before they risk losing, they end up overpaying Pascal or kicking the can or some of the other guys. I think they just go ahead and move those guys for pennies on the dollar.
It's sad, man, because Scotty, OG, and Pascal to me can be really fucking good as a trio.
Yeah,
like I really, but I don't think I'm kind of with you.
Not offensively though. That's the thing. Like defensively, they'll be really, really good, but offensively, that's the league's not going in the opposite.
All
direction.
of them on ball, right?
Yeah.
All on ball for the most part. And from what I heard, I'm sorry. From what I heard, OG is like, yo, more than ever. He's like, I want an opportunity to be the man. Like, I need to be the man. So, and you got to pay this dude soon. So you better see if he can be the man. You got to pay this dude next offseason.
I'm gonna be very curious who's throwing out the money for him to be the man in a year or so.
like his ceiling is probably like third best on your team. Not
probably.
Oof. I don't know.
Okay, all right. We'll move. What about the Pistons?
I like them.
I do too.
I like them too. No expectations though. I like them.
Yeah,
they'll be a fun team.
You have
Monty, right?
Yeah,
they bring in Monty. They got Cade, who showed out obviously. Then they have Bojan. They have Jaden.
What's your boy Durant?
They have Wiseman.
Wiseman, who like that's an exciting team. I don't have any expectations for them, but they're gonna be an exciting team. They have a bright future.
That remind me of
Jaden Ivey,
Bobcats. Yeah, Jaden. What'd you say, Chaz?
That remind me of Kimba's Bobcats. As far as like a team that has like a really good backcourt talent, and it's just going to take a little time for the front court. Because if you look at Wiseman like a Kwame Brown, Kwame was with the Bobcats for a little while. You look at Wiseman like a Kwame Brown, like a guy just trying to figure it out, And man, if they move Stewart. If Wiseman is good enough for them to move Stewart, then I think you're having a different conversation because Wiseman still has that pedigree. It's just like, can he put it together? If he figures it out, then we're having a totally different conversation.
I think they're a friends playoff team. I think they have.
I can see that.
I think
you see play in or play off.
I think they can make the playoffs. But I'm a believer in Cade, though. I'm a believer in Cade, and I think Monty is gonna give them. If he's not gonna do anything else, he's not gonna give over the hump. But he's gonna stabilize some things. He's gonna establish some roles. I think guys like Ivy will be better. A lot of they added, and listen, they added, some dudes that people may not be thinking about, like Joe Harris, for example. You're gonna need shooting. They added Alec Burks. They added Monty Morris, who Faloran brought up. Like, you add that with some of the other guys.
Asar Thompson.
The other Thompson twin. You still got Bagley. So you got some other dudes that, talented. Wow, you got a lot of weird talent. So like on the team, like high, like the Bagley Wiseman thing is hilarious. But they have it. How Cade and Jaden work together, I think is gonna be the key there. But if it works, they're gonna be hard to guard.
What's crazy? I think they have the benefit of playing in the East. Right.
Yep.
Like that allows them to be a little bit different. Because if you were in the West, like you gotta space everything out, you have to run. It's a little bit more like in the East. Like no, you can be a little bit more methodical about things. And the way that they'll play is probably like defense first, and then allow Cade to be Cade and let Jaden run the second unit and kind of play through Wiseman in a high post. Like it's really interesting though. I like it.
Yeah. One of my favorite rosters. One well, I won't say rosters, but they got about 6 players that I'm interested in seeing how they all play together, or that I want to watch on League Pass. The Pacers.
Oh, damn.
The Pacers.
I think they got one of the best players on that FIBA team. Top 2, top 3. Big Therese Halliburton fan. Miles Turner. You know, I don't know. He seemed like he might have figured it out a little bit. I think they definitely they got Ben Mathurin.
They brought in Obi Toppin. Who I think Obi and Tyrese, they was calling Tyrese Black Nash. That's his Stoudemire. I'm telling you, man. Obi was just in a bad situation with the Knicks. They wouldn't play him. They kept signing power forward after power forward. Taj Gibson playing over him. Let Obi play. Tyrese and Obi gonna be fun, bro.
Man, see, Pelicans is fucking disgusting, bro. But disgusting, bro. Are you really looking at these dudes like, oh boy, if he could just only play 40 games, we could just like what? Like, come on, man. That's just sad, bro. No, I think that team. I just think they got a crowded backcourt, but if they figure it out, I think they're gonna be really good this year. I'm more confident in them being a solid top 8 team this year.
Shout out to Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
Justin 5, anything?
Hell yeah, man. I'm excited to see Tyrese, bro.
I love Tyrese, yeah.
Man, that dude sees everything. Man, listen.
I just think of one pick away. That's the one that hurts. That's the one that hurts. It was off a coin flip, right? Here's my thing. Do you think we would have actually drafted him if we
I was told they was trading him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We don't make smart decisions like that. Like what we need all this talent for?
Got the ultimate glue guy, and Bruce Brown, man. They got a champion.
Yeah,
man, you know,
paid him big money for that first year too. Woo, boy,
they get
good.
paid.
Hey,
getting paid.
Won a chip. He was a big part of it, bro. Like the interviews he was even giving after like he knows what he's doing, bro. Like he knows like he can play in your role. Just you can't like guys like that are I don't know inconsequential. Like inconsequential. Fuck it. But these guys like that are really hard to find, and when you develop them, like you can't really let them go.
The Magic. I forgot about the Magic, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
When you said that,
I thought it was going Magic. Dog, I'm so excited about that team, dog.
Man,
talk about it.
Like, all right, look what they got. Look how many like lineups they can have. I mean, I think they're going to be really exciting. They have no expectations, right? You don't know what they're gonna. But I'm telling you, the young man playing in FIBA right now he's soaking up a lot of game. I mean, he's working out with KD. Like, I think he's going to have a breakout season, and he might make the All-Star team.
Man, I think Paolo, for as good as Paolo was last year, I don't even think he got enough credit because he was like him being the number 1 pick and how he played last year. I think everyone was kind of like, oh yeah, he should have been number 1. Like it was just so clear once you saw him hit the floor. It's like, why was this even a discussion? And man, when I saw that dude do to the Pelicans last season, that dude nice, man. I think if you could with the roster, the pieces they already have around him, even as good as Bol was, they just like get out of here. You know, we don't need you. Like, you know, I think them not having expectations and being in the East, I think you can see them be a nice playing team. Nice playing team.
Yeah. Justin, what you think about the guards, man? Because I feel like this is the log jam. They always got a log jam. So it's a power forward, small forward. Now, I mean, it's guards again. You got Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony Black, who they just drafted at 6. And you got Fultz still.
Yeah. they have Fultz still. I really like Cole Anthony. I think he's a good player. I like him a lot. But man, I forgot about Fultz. That's tough right there.
I think they're gonna move somebody. It'll probably be Fultz, but just to allow guys, because you've kind of raised his stock a little bit more to probably get something back more than you can try to trade Cole Anthony for and get something out of. And then you still have to let the other guys like the Jet Howards, and Anthony Blacks grow a little bit. So Markelle kind of stunts their growth in a sense if you do that. But I think probably by the trade deadline, they're gonna bring in some filler contracts, that kind of thing. And man, I think this team can be good. Yeah. I don't know if they make the playoffs. I think it's more so like a fringe thing, but they can be really exciting if it gets close, they put the ball in Paolo's hands and what he did to the Pelicans.
They'll be one of the most, I think, more exciting teams in the league next year. I'm definitely watching them.
But still got some things to figure out though, right?
Right.
Well, a lot more out.
Once again, Chris, they're young.
What about the Hawks?
Down.
Are the Hawks more difficult?
No.
I don't think they're difficult. I think the Hawks.
Oh, sorry, Chaz.
Go ahead.
They got Quinn, right? They got a new coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Snyder.
Go ahead.
The reason I don't think the Hawks are difficult, I think the Hawks leaned too much into low ceiling players, and they kind of, no disrespect to Hunter, but you're supposed to, when you draft in the lottery, go for the home run, get the high upside guy, because you're stuck paying DeAndre Hunter like as a fourth pick, and you moved off of Cam Reddish. Trey, of course, he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder. John Collins is gone, right? So who they got? Capella.
You got Sadiq Bey. You got AJ Griffin from last year. Jalen Johnson. You got Okongwu, who's gonna play a lot of minutes now with Collins gone now. They brought in Patty Mills. I mean.
Yeah, that's not a very good team.
You still got Bogdanovich. I mean, I don't.
And take into account that a lot of people don't like playing with Trey. So it's like, I think they don't even make the playoffs. Snyder's so good, though, you never know. But I think
Snyder's so good.
Man, I think Snyder's like, no, we got to nuke this. So let's be bad.
Just get all these guys.
He's not going to get fired off his first season.
Nah.
They
give him a lot of money too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's well paid.
Yeah.
But he's really he's deserving.
Yeah, he the man. He the man.
Yeah, he's a great coach.
Don't he look like he got that serial killer face?
Yeah.
He feel like he's like mafia movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn Nets.
I think they could be a fun team because one thing, I know we're not really talking about trades, but the thing to not to discount is that, man, a lot of these teams have the assets and the young players and the contracts to trade and do something major. I think if Cam Thomas gets the opportunity to shine, I think you really could see something special with him. Markelle showed you what he could do last year for a short window of time with the ball in his hands. They still got Spencer Dinwiddie. Is he gone? He's gone, right?
No. He's still there. They signed Lonnie Walker.
I thought he
got Lonnie. Dinwiddie came back, right?
Yeah, Dinwiddie is in Washington, right? Yeah. Well, he went back to Washington.
Wait.
No. He's still with the Nets. He's still
in Brooklyn. He's still in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
he's still in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think that team. I think they have the opportunity to be something fun. I think they're a fringe playing team, though. I don't think they have very high ceiling anywhere.
Interesting. What's their floor?
I think their floor is a lottery. If Markelle, even though Markelle's an Iron Man, I think in the event that something happened with Markelle, or if they were losing, I don't think Markelle is enough to lead you to victory single-handedly. No. So if it was a situation where they were right there at All-Star break, the way they can make the play-in, or they can lean into the lottery, they're going to lean into the lottery and try to get those assets so they can get another superstar.
My question would be, does Cam Johnson have another step in his game that we haven't seen?
Hell yeah. I mean, if he just got the ball consistently, right? Like
that's my question.
I do good.
He's a real good player.
Take this, for example, like what Chad says. Say if they lean into the lottery. Okay, that's the perfect opportunity to give Cam Thomas the ball to really see what this is, right? Like, if you're going to do it, all right, you might as well make the best of it, see what a guy has, let him fail, let him falter, and let him grow at that junction in time.
And they got to pay Johnson, right? They got to pay Cam Johnson soon.
Yeah.
They paid him already.
Oh, they paid Cam? Oh, yeah.
That was for 80 or 100, somewhere in there. I'm not sure.
He got future Trey Murphy money.
Yeah, that's right.
Because, Cam, before last year, before he got hurt, Year before that, he was hurt. He was really good. He was really good. I think last year kind of dampened a little bit of people's enthusiasm because he got hurt and stuff like that. But that dude could play. That dude could play.
And then you got you got the wonderful question of Ben Simmons.
Old Ben. Old Brokeback Ben. Old Brokeback.
Triple B's.
I don't. I don't know. I
don't think he's done.
Honestly. You don't?
I don't think he's done.
How?
I think what happened with him, I think he had a mental break because everybody quit on him at the same time. And he had a bum ass coach quit on him too. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, you're terrible. Like, you're not even a good coach. Like, you quit on him. And like the world kind of turned on. Like he didn't get to choose what he went next. It was just a lot of stuff. And
he won't return. Chess, you'll agree with this. He won't return to All-Star Philly Ben Simmons.
But I think his floor. I think a healthy Ben Simmons has a high floor to where he's a really good player. Maybe not
affects
great.
The basketball game.
Yeah,
affects the game in multiple ways. Okay. I mean that's fair.
Because the dude's accolades would like it would be equivalent to like. Dang, I'm trying to think. Maybe not Chris Paul, but it was like an elite point guard and defender getting hurt and just forgetting how to play basketball altogether. Like the dude was amazing at just a year and a half ago. Like it wasn't even that long ago. The dude was amazing, and now it's like, hey, the Space Jam aliens got him. Like we don't know what happened. So I think he'll be okay.
What about the Knicks?
I think
they won.
A fluke.
They won 47. Yeah. They won 47 games. Y'all think that they've?
Chris, I'm gonna go with the Knicks. What you did
to Sacramento
Kings.
Exactly.
I did not believe in this at all.
Exactly.
At all.
What is that energy? That's why I'm like, what the same energy yet?
I was no way.
You brought back the same thing. Oh, they gonna win 47 games again?
Like under 500 this year, Chris. I'm going for it. Yeah, under 500.
I think Thibodeau's a better coach than Mike Brown. I don't know, man.
Julius or Sabonis? Julius or Sabonis?
Neither.
Fox or Jalen Brunson.
You take Fox. But again, the motherfuckers are not playing 70. Their top 8 players are not playing 70 plus fucking games again.
Because Thibodeau running the ground. That's why.
I think they're in a weird position where they trying to thread the needle a little bit. Like you see, they failed with Obi Toppin because he didn't have enough bandwidth to develop, and they got like some other guys who like was it Quickly, and they got the other guy. I know because I kept losing money on him, and I was like, get this guy the fuck out of here, man. And you ever want to pay attention to how bad a good a player is? Stop betting on him, and then you're gonna know everything about him.
You're gonna know everything about him.
Yeah, but then it's like
where your mama stay.
Damn, like you coming home kind of late, huh?
Man,
get some sleep. I got money on you tomorrow. But I think they're trying to thread the needle, and I think the Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle experiment is going to turn into a pumpkin at some point. Because we saw Tibbs. If Tibbs don't have elite talent, and by elite I mean Derrick Rose type, saw him fail with the Timberwolves. At some point, Tibbs always fails. So I think
when is it? Well, they signed White Dante. I think Quentin Grimes is a really solid player who's gonna get more minutes this year. Mitchell Robinson only gonna give you about 30 games, but they all gonna be good. I mean, more times than not. The key to me is, does RJ Barrett have another step to take this year? Does he have another step in his game? Is he going to another level? That's the question that I would have.
He's not an elite wing. I think he's probably best with the ball in his hands, and he's not gonna get it because Jalen got it. And there's no room.
Julius needs it.
Yeah, there's no room for him.
Yeah, I don't think RJ.
Okay,
that draft was pretty bad when you look back at it in hindsight. Draft was not all. If you would have knew how it would turn out, you'd be like, shit, Cam, Zion, and RJ. You like, let's go get Ja concealed weapons license and move on.
And hold on, and also like I kind of feel like.
Are you going out, Justin?
3-point making.
Oh,
we lost Justin.
Yeah, he went completely out.
Yeah, that boy's not tripping.
Yeah.
That boy turn the Wi-Fi off.
Turn it right off, man. Let's since he out, man. Let's close out with the Bulls, man. What do you guys think of the Bulls? Are they more difficult or to project than the Pelicans, or they just
they bad.
Yeah.
Get them out of here. I think, but the thing is, if Zach LaVine's knee is as bad as anticipated, because I think like Rosen could be that wing that Sacramento's probably missing. But I look at if Zach LaVine's knee is as bad as people are saying, you stuck. Like, what you do with him? Because he ain't no traditional point guard. His whole game is based on having supreme athleticism and going on 3-point streaks every once in a while. So what you do? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think they should just mail it in at this point. Try to recoup some assets and kind of start over. The Bulls are bad. They're going to be bad probably for a while.
Yo, I just thought of something. What y'all think about Zach LaVine? I'm sorry. What y'all think about DeRozan on the Cavs?
Can they see?
Can they all coexist? Yeah.
I'd rather him in Sac.
I need to see Evan Mobley have a real chance to be something offensively.
Right.
And I don't know.
Same space.
Yeah, and I don't know if I think that blocks that a little bit longer. Now, if you think like there's folks that you talk to that thinks that no matter what they do, Mitchell's out of there. They don't think he's gonna resign, right? So at that point, you might do whatever considering what you gave up. I mean, everything might be on the table.
Do you think that was like y'all think that was like a Toronto situation where like fuck, we got one shot, we might as well just go at it
and try to convince him? Yeah.
Yo,
try to convince him.
Oh, last time I wanted to ask y'all, because I mentioned this the other day and I saw somebody else say this today. If y'all were the Pelicans, would you give Kyra the nod over Jose to start the season? Would you be like, all right, let me give Kyra one last chance, because right now I can't give him away. I got to attach a pick to give him. Would you see if Kyra can live up to at least some of that first early lottery pick pedigree, or would you just say, all right, I'm going to just go with Jose, Kyra, just sit down somewhere?
Nah. I would probably wait, because an injury will happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, not to say that, like, he hasn't worked his way back into this, but an injury will happen. They'll find some minutes for him at that juncture. That's probably when his abilities need to show. Like, he needs to be put his best foot forward. But at the start of the season, because that doesn't give you the best chance at winning, and you need to start off winning, and every minute matters.
I'll say this: I don't think it's Jose. The person I'd be looking at would be Dyson, because I don't think Kyra's a point guard.
I think Kyra's like a 2.
I don't think he has the. I don't think he's the passer, and I don't think he has the handle.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel like a point. He feels like you're best served using that quickness off ball, and in some sets handle the ball. But I don't think he has the right mind nor the right skill set to really be. The less thinking he does, the better. And when he's at the point, it's way too much thinking I think he has to do. I think I'd be looking more so, all right, you outplay Dyson, we'll give you minutes over Dyson. That would be my thought.
And that's the thing, right? Like, we have a lot of wings at this point. Dyson ain't a 1, and these guys are brought in to be 1s. Like, that's the issue. Like, we're misgrading 1s. Chaz alluded to this earlier. That's the most important position in the regular season, and we're losing at that. And we drafted guys specifically for that position, and we're getting nothing for it. We had to bring in CJ McCollum because of this. And he's not really a 1 in a sense either.
So you gotta play Jose, because he's still the only true point guard that you have. So,
but it's just like, damn. You just think about that high upside. You just like, damn, Jose. I just only can see Jose being practical in a couple of matchups. Whereas I guess Kyra has the luxury of being the scratch-off ticket that you like, boy, if he ever figures it out, he's going to be good. Whereas Jose, you like, man, you would have to be so good offensively to make up for like some of the shortcomings, pause. And it's just like, I don't know.
I mean, he got a JJ Barrera his way through the.
That's what I mean. You know
what I'm saying.
We probably need to have a show about Jose. Just speak about him. But I don't think it's like that. I don't think there's like matchups where he just matchups of course, but I don't think there's games where he just can't play.
Right.
Like I think at some point in those games, like he has an advantage that he can, and he's been smart enough to kind of take those. And every year he's come back with something that elevates his game. Like last year, came back a better shooter. His floater got better. And I think those are all things that kind of improve. I don't know what y'all are hearing. I don't know if he is still injured. I know he didn't play in FIBA, but I think that's more so like a precautionary thing.
Precautionary,
yeah.
So it's a stress fracture, right?
Yeah.
Some of the fibula, right?
Yeah, that might have been misdiagnosed, hence why it took so long for him to get back.
I'll say this. Jose, analytics wise, I think I saw it on Twitter. It was about 25. It was with nine Devontae Graham minutes and Pelicans players that played, I don't know, about 30 games. And it was like 4-man lineups or 3-man lineups. They had about 10 different lineups. Jose was in about 8 of them. So his impact is there, but I think where it becomes interesting is where you look at situations where you have to play him and CJ McCollum to, in some cases, to close games. Jose's the type of dude you can close games with because he just does things that doesn't show up. And again, he's your only point guard. Right. But I'll never forget the game that they played Boston in New Orleans. I'll never forget it. Pelicans fought back to end up making it close, so on and so forth. And all Jalen and Jason did was just pick on either whether it was Jose or CJ, and you couldn't couldn't live with it. You had to choose one. If CJ was gone, maybe a different story. But I don't think you can live with two small with two important small guards.
Yeah.
I think it's tough, especially not having a center that can move. I don't think you're gonna be able to do it.
See, that lineup that you speak of, the Boston game is just like that one team that can do that to you, or another team that can do that to you. On the flip side, they play Denver, right? Those two play. I mean, I think Jose played way better than CJ, but
he did.
Like it didn't hurt you. So it's all about said matchups when you have those two. I don't think he can be like, but that's the thing about the Pelicans. Like, it can't be as standard as it is, right? Yeah. Like, we're closing with just this guy rather than the guys that are just playing well at that particular time.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, man, I'm gonna let y'all get out of here, man. I'll tell you what I learned, because I forgot about what some of these teams were and some of the things that they added. The West gonna be tough as fuck again, and the East is gonna be terrible. I mean,
let's go 1 through 16 at this point, bro. What's the matter? Yeah. Like, it doesn't even matter anymore. Like,
it's so unbalanced, bro. I mean, and we didn't mention. I don't know if there's a need to mention the Jazz, but maybe there is. I mean, I didn't mention the Jazz, but they were a tough team last year, for example, right? I mean, what happens with Dame in Portland? Does he end up playing? Like, the fucking West is crazy, bro.
Yeah, I think everyone is just gonna count on the Suns. They're not gonna figure it out right away. So if we can get out to a fast start, and the Warriors not gonna figure it out right away, so we can just get out to a fast start. That's what, like, everybody's gonna have the same mentality. Like, we gotta get out to the fast start. So it's just like, shit. I think everybody's gonna be trying a lot earlier in the season than it would be normally. So, all
right, man. Well, look, man, this went an hour and almost 30 minutes. I appreciate y'all for pulling up, man, and and kicking it, man. Chaz, 5. Next time we do this, it won't be this thing, bro. It's crazy. Appreciate all y'all in the comments, man. That, like, share, subscribe, man. Chaz just dropped the show. Y'all know 5 credential media. I just dropped the show the other day. You know what I'm saying? You know, we doing the best that we can here, man, to kind of put out as much content, man. Media day will be here before we know it. The schedule's out tomorrow. Tap in. There'll be more shows out between now and then. Before we know it, preseason to be here, and we'll be hoping for 50 games for our best 2 players.
Why the Kings get almost 8?
Why the Kings get 8 players with 70? All right, I'll let y'all, man. We out.
Peace.